Hello visionaries! So now I'm going to teach you and show you how to use a pendulum as well as how to program it. So first and foremost, when you're choosing your pendulum, very similar to how you choose a crystal, see which one you're most drawn towards. If you have a hard time selecting your pendulum, just hold one or your other option in your hand and see which one you're having a physical reaction towards. Whichever one you're most drawn towards is the one that is right for you. Definitely tune into your intuition and allow yourself to be guided by it. Pendulums are a physical representation of our intuition, so it will respond to us in accordance to our intuition. However, it is very easily to override it with thoughts because they are fucking powerful and we're so used to prioritizing them that it takes some practice. So if you find yourself in an unbiased state or emotionally charged, put the pendulum down, walk away from it, and revisit it when you feel unbiased and like you're in a neutral and open, receptive state. Before you use your pendulum, or at least for the very first time, make sure that you cleanse it. So whether that's with sage, Palo Santo, you can put on some selenite. You can also charge it in under the full moon and for the daylight the day after. So that is fully charged and ready to be used. Now, when it comes to programming your pendulum, I program it with 4 different answers, though I only use 3 of them. So I'll explain to you one at a time what the different ones are, and then you can adapt and see what works best for you. So the 4 different responses that the pendulum can give you is yes, no, I don't know, and I'm not ready to answer. The difference between I don't know and I'm not ready to answer means it doesn't have enough information yet, or maybe you need to specify a little bit more in order for it to make a decision. So you have to get super specific on what kind of answer that you're looking for. I don't know means there's really no decision yet, and perhaps maybe each one could be the right direction for you. So it's up to your interpretation, or just take some time before asking it again and maybe you need just some more information. So in order to actually program it, we first want to ask very simple questions and then notice in which direction that our pendulum sways in. So especially when you're starting off, make sure that your elbow is always touching solid ground. So in this case, it's touching my table. So I am fully supported and not just floating up in the air and then anything and everything can like sway it in any direction. We want to make sure we're nice and firmly planted. Mine has like a little ball at the end, so I just hold it like this. And then I will ask it in the programming questions, is my name Rebecca? And then I look and notice which way that it is swinging. And I already know that the answer is yes. So this is how I'm going to start programming the yes. And then I can say like stop and wait for it to stop. It's almost there. My heart is also beating. I'm also talking at the same time, so it's like swaying a little bit more than usual. And then I could say, is my dog's name Onyx? And then it shows the same answer as yes. And then I'll ask it a couple more questions until it like officially, I have a very firm direction and like repetitive direction of what yes stands for. And they can either go vertical, back and forth, horizontal, right to left. It can go clockwise in a circle and then counterclockwise. So you do that for yes, you do the same thing for no, and then you do the maybe, I don't know, and then the I'm not ready to answer. So for me, the way that it works, and it could be totally different for you. Again, there's no right or wrong. This is just like a method of communication with you and your pendulum. Yes, for me, is back and forth. No is side to side. And then as soon as it starts going in a circle, I'm like, okay, I need to like either back off or refine the question. So I don't really, that's why I mean by I only use 3 of them instead of the 4. You don't know how long it's going to actually take you to fully program your pendulum. For some people, it's like easy, no brainer, like 20 minutes down pat, done. And then for other people, it could take lots of hours, or it could take days, or it could take weeks. Depending on your connection to your intuition and how comfortable you are with leaning into your intuition and trusting it. That's really what's going to make a difference in how much time it takes to program your pendulum. Don't rush yourself. We want to make sure you do this right, because once you've like programmed the yes, programmed the no, programmed the other options, then you can start asking it questions that you don't know the answer to, and you're looking to it for guidance. So you have the first bit of information of how to program it, and then say it's all programmed, it's locked and loaded and ready. And the next time that you want to use it, what I do is, because we want to make sure and like kind of like wake it up again and make sure that it remembers the same language that we previously programmed. So I will say, okay, now show me a yes. And then it will go to yes. And I'm like, okay, show me a no. And then it will move into a no. Again, if you program more than just those 2 or 3, you can ask it to show you all of the different answers. But I just do yes and no because that's all I really want to know. If it does anything else, I need more information, I need to change my question or something like that. And then once it says the correct yes and the correct no, and potentially the 3rd and 4th response, then I can ask it my question. And see, look there, now it's nice and still. So then I can ask it my question. Of course, make it as specific as possible. Make it a yes or no answer, because this is all that the pendulum is for. It's not for receiving guidance or anything like that. Use your cards, use your intuition, use other things for that. What do I mean by intuition? I mean like third eye, like, you know, your antennas. This is for yes and no. So we want to keep things as simple as possible. And if at any point you have a hard time with it giving you an answer, see if it needs to be reprogrammed. It's very possible. Cleanse the energy. Honestly, don't let anyone touch this. This is literally just for you. This is not something to be shared. This is unlike your cards that you can let other people touch if that's something that you're comfortable with. Don't let anyone touch your baby. As for storing, we want to make sure she is nice and comfortable. I'm generalizing, calling mine a she, and yours too, but you know what I mean. I have a little casing for her with the baggie that she came in, the little velvet pouch that she came in that I just put at the bottom. And yeah, I just like to keep her nice and safe, and so that like nothing can like harm her and she's well protected. And I keep her on my altar with next to like all of my other things that I absolutely love and adore and cherish. And it's like, yeah, one of my self-love tools, you know? So I think that's basically it. If you have any questions about how to use a pendulum, or if you need further clarification, feel free to message me, reach out, or leave a comment on this video, and I'll be happy to respond. Thank you. Enjoy.